So far, we've looked at how you can use Power BI to connect to data sources and then manually publish that or upload it into the Power BI service. However, you're not going to want to do that every time your data changes. And so you can use Power BI to set up a scheduled refresh that will connect to whatever data sources you set up and publish them up into the Power BI service automatically. This also gives you a way to connect the service and that online capability with any on-premises data sources that you've got, whether that's Excel files or Access databases or SQL Server databases or Oracle or other database platforms like that. We call this the Personal Gateway. And what that is a simple application that runs on your desktop or on a laptop and makes that connection for you. So on a scheduled refresh, it'll go and pull data out of those data sources and push them up into the Power BI service for you. Let's take a look at how to install it and configure it now. So I'm logged into the Power BI dashboard here, and up in the top right-hand corner, I'll see this little download icon. When I click this, I've got a few different options of things that I could download, and the one that I'm interested in here is the Power BI Personal Gateway. When I start downloading this, it'll pull down a little application onto your desktop, and it'll take us through a wizard through installing everything. Like I said, it's an application that actually runs on your desktop. It will run in your system tray, in your notification area, and it can either run as a background service or as a user application, depending on your admin privileges. So you don't need to worry about being an administrator on your machine. The first thing you'll get is a couple of warnings, particularly if you're, or at least you may get some warnings, if you're doing things like installing on a laptop. The Power BI Gateway does need to be on, and the laptop or the machine that it's running on needs to be connected to the internet, and it needs to be on when that refresh is scheduled. So you'll get warnings here saying, if you're connected to a wireless network, it may take a bit longer, or if your computer's asleep when the refresh is scheduled, the refresh won't work. I'm okay with it at the moment. I know I'm going to be able to make sure that machine's on all the time, so I'll just accept the license agreement and start the installation. Choose the default folder, and the installation gets started. Once it's done, you'll actually need to go through and configure the gateway as well. So I'll launch that now. The first thing you have to do is sign back into powerbi.com. So this is connecting the gateway up to your Office 365 account, the one that you use to sign into Power BI with. So it tells me I'm signed into powerbi.com, and now I also need to put in the username and password that it will run on my machine. So this is my Windows username and password, the one that I would normally log into this machine with. So now if I go back to my dashboard, I'll see that I've got my Van Arsdale sales dataset that we uploaded earlier on. And when I click the ellipsis menu from here, I've got an option to schedule refresh, and this will take me through to a screen where I can go and configure this refresh operation. It'll actually tell me, hey, look, it's detected the gateway, and it's found that the one that I just installed is ready to go. And it's going to tell me that the data sources that I've connected to need to be updated. It's already detected that we had two data sources that we were connecting to. There's the Access database and the folder that we had connected to as part of the earlier lab. And I need to go and set the credentials for this. So how will the Power BI Gateway actually connect to these data sources? So for the Access database, I'm just going to use the Windows authentication method, and it will use the Windows credentials that we put in earlier for the Power BI Gateway. For the folder, it's going to be the same thing. So now anytime there's an update to the data in the Access database, or anytime that any new files arrive in that folder, the Power BI Gateway will be able to go and connect, integrate all that data, and push it up to the Power BI service. So the last thing to say is, what schedule do we want to do that refresh on? Yep, I want to keep my data up to date, and I want to set a frequency. Maybe I want to do this every day, choose a time zone and add in a time. If I want to do multiple times a day, I can do that as well. So maybe we'll do one at 11 PM and one at 11 AM. And finally, there's a checkbox down here. You'll actually get an email if there's any problems with the refresh. So for example, if you had it installed on a laptop and if you had the gateway installed on a laptop and it had gone to sleep during that refresh period, you'd get an email saying, hey, the refresh failed. You need to go and check out what's going on. Hit apply, everything gets saved, and now it's ready. The Power BI gateway is going to be sort of fire up on that schedule, connect to those data sources, do all of the integration and all the modeling on that data that we defined before it got uploaded, and then push that data back up into the Power BI service. And we'll see, when we start loading these dashboards, we'll see the tiles in this dashboard get updated automatically. The data will just start changing as things flow into those data sources and as they get picked up by the gateway.